Hi, I'm Carolyn, trichologist at Absolute. Today we're talking about men's hair loss treatments. Particularly we're talking about early onset male pattern thinning. So male pattern thinning is the typical shrinking or miniaturizing of the hair in this pattern thinning area. But what we had was a guy who was 20 years old. He just completed his second year at university, and there was no hereditary tendency. His dad, family, uncles, brothers, grandfather, nobody had this pattern of thinning. So when you've got a pattern of thinning happening and you can't see a typical hereditary trait, you've got to look for other causes. And in this case, what we found is that there was some abnormalities in the blood work. We had highs, lows, things that were representing various organ systems, inflammation, and also absorption issues. The iron, ferritin in particular, which should be at a reasonable level for a guy of his age who is trying to exercise, was quite low. And what we found is that he had attempted to be vegetarian over the past 3 years, but he was doing it poorly. So he wasn't not just being vegetarian, but he wasn't eating proper food. He was eating typical university student food, one could say. So he'd also tried to use some commercial forms of minoxidil and also some prescription medication to combat the hair loss. And what that does is when you're not treating the underlying cause, it can trigger further hair loss. So it's really, really important when this is happening to you, you can see that there's no family pattern, that you get a correct diagnosis. Don't just read what's happening online. Go to someone who understands what's happening with the hair cell and the hair cycle and your health, to know that that is what's triggering the early onset pattern thinning. Because treatment's not difficult if we're treating the right things. So if we go and we balance out life, diet, health, and get your bloods back to normal, then your own body's immune system will actually combat what's happening with the pattern thinning if it is not hereditary. Okay, we can teach you all the different things to avoid, and we can help you with some simple topical things as well. So that's early onset male pattern thinning. If it's happening to you much earlier than any other man in your, or women, this happens to women as well, in your family, then do seek proper help from a trichologist. So any questions or concerns, as always, drop me an email. It's info@absolute.com.au.